Welcome and thank you for standing by. At this time, all participants are in a listen-only mode. During today's Q&A session, if you'd like to ask a question, please press star then one. Today's call is also being recorded. If you have any objections, you may disconnect at this time. I would now like to turn today's meeting over to your host, Ms. Tanya McInnes. Thank you. You may begin.
Great. Well, good afternoon and welcome to the fiscal year 2021 Small Dollar Loan Program pre-application webinar. My name is Tanya McInnes. I am the Program Manager for Depository Institutions Initiative, which is a business unit within the CDFI Fund that manages the Small Dollar Loan Program. As a reminder, participants will be muted until we open the phone lines for questions at the end of the presentation. Our agenda for this webinar includes the following: an introduction of SDL program staff, an overview of the Small Dollar Loan Program, the program application logistics, and questions. We will not cover application components, submission and review, or instructions on how to enter data into an application in the CDFI Fund's Award Management Information System. So Depository Institutions Initiatives is currently a staff of 2. As I stated a few seconds ago, my name is Tanya McInnes. I'm the Program Manager. The other staff person is Joan Reed Patrick, who you will hear from in a few minutes. Joan is our Policy and Program Officer. So the Small Dollar Loan Program was authorized by the Dodd-Frank Wall Street Reform and Consumer Protection Act of 2010. There will be up to $13.5 million available for this funding round. The Small Dollar Loan Program was created to help certified community development financial institutions address the issue of expanding consumer access to mainstream financial institutions and provide alternatives to high-cost small dollar loans, and unbanked and underbanked populations build credit, access affordable capital, and allow greater access into the mainstream financial system. Per the Small Dollar Loan Program statute, Small Dollar Loan Program grants may only be used to support small dollar loan programs that offer small dollar loans to consumers that are made in amounts that do not exceed $2,500, must be repaid in installments, have no prepayment penalty, and have payments that are reported to at least one of the consumer reporting agencies that compiles and maintains files on consumers on a nationwide basis. Per the Small Dollar Loan Program statute, there are 2 eligible uses of award. The first one is loan loss reserves to defray the cost of a new or existing small dollar loan program, or technical assistance for technology, staff support, and other costs associated with establishing or maintaining a small dollar loan program. Please note that small dollar loan program grants cannot be used to provide direct loans to consumers. Also, per the Small Dollar Loan Program statute, there are 3 types of eligible applicants. You could be a certified CDFI or partnerships between a certified CDFI and any federally insured depository institution with a primary mission to serve targeted investment areas, or partnerships between 2 or more CDFIs. Now I want to spend a few minutes talking about the application submission process. So the CDFI Fund has a 2-step process that requires the submission of application documents on separate deadlines and on different online systems. So for step 1, the standard form 424, also known as the SF424, is submitted through grants.gov. This form starts your application and contains important fields about your organization's tax and payment information. For step 2, the Small Dollar Loan Program application submitted through AMIS. The application will ask for information about your organization, such as your organization's financial data, the small dollar loan program or products, and development services you currently provide, if applicable, and your organization's objectives for your small dollar loan program award. The submission deadlines for the 2021 Small Dollar Loan Program application are published in the Notice of Funds Availability, also referred to as the NOFA. Again, please note that there are different submission deadlines for materials that must be submitted electronically through grants.gov and those that must be submitted through AMIS. So the timeline will start with the publication of the NOFA, as stated here. And then the SF-424 application, again submitted in grants.gov, would be due 30 days after the NOFA publication. Then you must provide other information in your AMIS account, such as your employer identification number or EIN, and Dun & Bradstreet number, again in AMIS, 30 days after NOFA publication. And then the application is due in AMIS 60 days after NOFA publication. I will now turn the presentation over to Joan, who will speak more about the application process to apply for a Small Dollar Loan Program award. Joan?
Thank you, Tanya. As Tanya mentioned earlier, my name is Joan Reed Patrick, and I'm a Policy and Program Officer with the Small Dollar Loan Program. So in order to apply for a fiscal year 2021 Small Dollar Loan Program award, applicants must have a valid DUNS and EIN number. It is recommended that applicants allow sufficient time to obtain this information. Applicants should also ensure that they are registered in SAM.gov, grants.gov, and AMIS, and that their accounts in the system are updated. To prepare for the fiscal year 2021 Small Dollar Loan Program application, it is recommended that applicants familiarize themselves with the NOFA and other application materials located on the Small Dollar Loan Program webpage of the CDFI Funds website. As mentioned on the prior slide, applicants should ensure that the information in all the applicable accounts, such as SAM.gov, grants.gov, and AMIS, are updated with the correct EIN and DUNS number. The CDFI Fund will reject an application if the EIN and DUNS number in an applicant's AMIS account do not match the EIN and DUNS number in its SAM.gov account. The EIN and DUNS number should be that of the applicant, and applications submitted with the EIN or DUNS of a parent or affiliate organization will also be rejected. For applicants that do not currently have an active SAM account, it is recommended that you allow ample time to complete the entire registration and submission process well in advance of the SF-424 submission deadline. Existing users should review their SAM.gov account to ensure that the information is up to date. If you are unable to meet the grants.gov deadline due to failure to obtain a DUNS number and or a SAM registration confirmation, you will not be allowed to submit the SF-424. Additionally, if the SF-424 is not successfully submitted and validated by the deadline, the applicant will not be able to submit materials in AMIS, and the application will be deemed ineligible. Therefore, applicants are strongly encouraged to submit the SF-424 as early as possible in the grants.gov portal, since submission issues may impact the ability to submit the overall application. The CDFI Fund does not manage grants.gov or SAM.gov and is unable to respond to any questions related to the assistance. Therefore, questions related to grants.gov and SAM.gov registration or submission process should be communicated directly to them, and their contact information can be found on their website. The SF-424 is the only document that is submitted via grants.gov and must be submitted by the grants.gov deadline, which is 30 days after the SDL program NOFA is posted on the Federal Register. Also note, if the SF-424 is not successfully accepted in grants.gov by the deadline listed in the NOFA, the CDFI fund will not review any of the materials submitted in AMIS, and the application will be deemed ineligible. The SF-424 must be submitted under the correct program funding opportunity number. SF-424 submitted under the incorrect program funding opportunity number will be deemed ineligible. If the amount of the Small Dollar Loan Program award requested on the SF-424 is different from the amount requested in the application in AMIS, the CDFI fund will only consider the amount requested in the AMIS application. So each applicant must register their organization in AMIS and submit all supporting and required documentation via AMIS. The SF-424 is the only document that will not be submitted via AMIS. So all applicants must update their EIN and DUNS number in AMIS by the deadline, which is 30 days after the NOFA is posted to the Federal Register website. Applicants who fail to register as an organization in AMIS by the appropriate deadline will be deemed ineligible. Applicants are required to designate at least one authorized representative and at least one point of contact in AMIS in order to submit their application. The authorized representative must electronically sign the application prior to submission through AMIS. An applicant that fails to properly register and update its AMIS account may miss important communications from the CDFI fund or fail to submit an application successfully. I will now turn the presentation back over to Tanya for questions and next steps.
Thanks, Joan. I know we've shared a lot of information with you in a short period of time. So after digesting this information, you have follow-up questions. There are 3 ways to contact us. You can submit a service request in AMIS. You can email us at the email address that you see now on the screen, or you can contact the CDFI Fund Help Desk at the number also posted on the screen. For next steps, please be on the lookout for the NOFA publication in the Federal Register, and please register in GovDelivery to hear about additional webinars and CDFI Fund announcements. The announcements to register in GovDelivery is also on your screen. So thank you for participating in today's workshop. We will now open the line for any questions you may have now.
As a quick reminder, if you'd like to ask a question, please press star then 1. Remember to unmute your phone and record your name clear and prompted. If you'd like to withdraw that question, you may press star 2. Again, if you'd like to ask a question from the phone lines, please press star then 1. One moment as we wait for the first question.
Cedric, while we're waiting for the first question, I do see a few questions in the chat that I can answer. I see that we have a question asking about the NOFA, if it has been published yet, and no, it has not yet been published. We have a question asking us to go back to slide number 7. And the person who has a question about slide 7, can you ask us what your question is? And Joan, can you go back to slide 7? Cedric, you said the line is open? The lines are open?
No, they're in a question queue. I have to take questions one at a time.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No problem. And our first question comes from Jerome Brown. Your line is open.
Hey, thanks for this information. The question is, does this application go against the rules for the number of grants that an entity can receive and or apply for?
No, thank you for your question. No, there are no prohibitions against for you. If you choose to apply for this program, you can apply for other CDFI fund programs as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now, next question comes from Catherine McCormick. Your line is open.
Oh, thank you. Actually, my question was related to this slide 7. I wanted you to repeat what uses or applications can be used for the funds. And I see it's for loan loss reserves and technical assistance. And am I correct in assuming that it cannot be used for these small loans?
You are correct. Per the statute, the grants cannot be used to provide direct loans to consumers. They can only be used for loan loss reserves and technical assistance.
Okay, very good. Thanks.
Thank you. And our next question comes from Carrie Gibson. Your line is open.
Hi, I was just wondering, we were a little bit late getting on to the presentation. Is it possible to get a copy of the slides?
Yes, the presentation will be recorded, and we'll post it to the website, to CDFI Fund's website.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question comes from Martina. Your line is open.
Yeah, hi. I'm wondering if you know the name of the program funding opportunity under SF424, because when we went on there, I can't even tell you how many, and so it's confusing. Which one do you use?
Yeah, thank you for that question. That has not yet been published. We will get that published soon as in preparation for opening the round.
So if we're registered with if we're registered on that website, when it's published, when we go to that drop-down menu, it'll show CDFI Small Dollar Loan Program, and that's the one that we use.
That's correct.
Okay. All right. Well, no wonder I couldn't find it. Thank you.
Yeah, and it will also would be published in the NOFA. When we publish the NOFA, when it's published in the Federal Register, you'll see the funding opportunity number there as well.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our next question from the phones comes from Ms. Thompson. Your line is open.
Hi, my question was answered. Thanks.
Thank you. Our next question comes from Zara. Your line is open.
Hi, everyone. I just had a quick question about if there's any idea of what the minimum award and maximum award amount may be. Is it similar to the RRP, where you guys have an idea of how much is available spread across the CDFIs, or is it going to be a different type of process?
That information will be in the NOFA. It's not like RRP, but that information will be provided in the NOFA.
Do have a follow-up question. Ms. Catherine, your line is open.
Okay, thanks. Going back to this slide 7, we are just working towards setting up the loan fund, so it is not in existence as yet, but we do provide technical assistance and would certainly could use some additional funds for that. If there is not a direct loan fund in existence, would we still qualify for these fundings?
Yeah, again, I'm going to point to the language in the statute, and again, the purpose of the program is to provide small dollar loans to consumers. So
okay.
if you are starting a program, that's great. Yep. You should, and hopefully you could, the eligible uses of awards will help you stand up your program or expand an existing program.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Sure. And just to follow up to the previous question, asking about the minimum and maximum award sizes, just want to let you know, again, that information will be in the NOFA, but we will also have schedule additional calls and webinars to provide more information once the application round opens. But right now, we just want to get people familiar with logistics with the new program.
All right. Next question comes from Vicki Frank. Your line is open.
Yeah, hi there. I was wondering if you could go back to the slide about what kind of organizations are eligible. I heard that you started the webinar today introducing yourselves as part of the depository institutions team at the CDFI Fund, and I was curious if you could talk a little bit about the small dollar loan program with respect to both unregulated CDFIs as well as depositories and eligibility.
Sure. Joan, if you can go to, I think it's slide number 8, where we talk about applicant eligibility. So again, per the legislation authorizing this program, there are 3 applicant types. So again, one applicant type is a certified CDFI. So you could be an unregulated or regulated certified CDFI applying individually, or an applicant type could be a partnership between a certified CDFI and a federally insured depository institution. Our acronym for that is FIDI, with a primary mission to serve targeted investment areas, or it could be a partnership between 2 or more certified CDFIs.
Okay, so if you're a certified CDFI, whether unregulated or a depository, you're eligible for this program, and the fact that you guys are the depository team is just where it's sitting. Is that?
Oh yeah, right. That's just where it's sitting. If you do, all certified CDFIs are eligible.
Okay, thanks for clarifying.
Thanks, Vicki.
Thank you. Now, next question comes from Festina. Your line is open.
Thank you so much. Actually, the applicant eligibility was my question, so I appreciate the presentation and the information. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, next question comes from Ms. Pope. Your line is open.
Hi. Can you elaborate on how the loan can be used, small dollar grant? You said it can be used for defray and technical support. What does that mean, defray and technical support?
Yes, Joan, if you can go to slide number 7. So yes, there are 2 eligible uses. You can use the awards for loan loss reserve to cover the cost on establishing a new or expanding a small dollar loan program, or the awards can be used for technical assistance, for technology, for staff support, and other costs associated with establishing or maintaining a small dollar loan program. And again, just want to emphasize that the grants cannot be used to provide direct loans to consumers.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Our next question comes from Terrence. Your line is open.
Thanks so much. My question concerns the reporting requirements to the credit bureaus. We report to the CBA, the Credit Bureaus Alliance, as well as to other alternative credit scoring agencies. Does this particular requirement mean that we would also be requiring that we would be required to report to one of the large three credit agencies?
That's a very good question. We will we'll have an answer for that question in our FAQs when we publish that. Again, okay. I will just point you to the language in the statute that the payments have to be reported to at least one of the consumer reporting agencies.
Okay.
Thank you. We do have a follow-up from Ms. Thompson. Your line is open.
Hi, thanks for taking my question. I was wondering about the application process itself. Is it going to be the kind of streamlined applications that we saw under the RRP awards, or is it going to be more like the traditional CDFI FATA, kind of more lengthy application?
I think it will probably be more aligned with our normal applications that you're familiar with. It won't be like RRP.
Thank you. As another quick reminder, if you'd like to ask a question, please press star then one. Next question comes from Ms. Vicki Frank. You have a follow-up. Your line is open.
Hi, I'm actually using this opportunity to do a little plug for Credit Builders Alliance as the founding director. So Credit Builders Alliance works with as an intermediary for unregulated CDFIs and reports data to, I believe, all three of the consumer credit reporting agencies at this point. So for that caller who asked about that and has the relationship with Credit Builders Alliance, and for any other CDFIs out there who are interested in reporting and have found themselves unable to do so, I just wanted to give a little plug for what Credit Builders Alliance does for the industry. Thanks.
Great. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you. We do have one more question from the phone. Ms. Pope, your line is open.
Hi, just one more question. Are these grants good for certified businesses, state certified and federal certified, like minority women or disabled veteran certified businesses?
If I'm understanding your question, are you asking if the grants can be made to the type of institutions that you just listed, or are you saying if you're a CDFI, can you make grants to those types of institutions?
Can the loans be made to those type of institutions, certified institutions?
Again,
or federal,
to be eligible, you have to be a certified CDFI to receive our grants, and then the institution that receives the certified CDFI that receives our grants is responsible for either establishing a small dollar loan program that meets the parameters established in the legislation, or use our small dollar loan grants to expand an existing small dollar loan program.
Okay.
So your small dollar loans can only be made to consumers.
Thank you.
Did I answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. We do have another question. Bennett, your line is open.
Yeah, I wanted to ask about any matching fund requirement on the application process.
I missed the first part of your question.
Is there any matching fund required for?
Oh, yeah, that's a very good question. The legislation does state that matching funds, there is a matching funds requirement, but for this funding round, that requirement has been waived. So no matching funds requirement for this funding round.
And there's no asset size, revenue size requirement also?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Showing no further questions from the phones at this time.
Okay. Well, thank you all again for your participation. Hopefully we were able to answer your questions. If not, please refer to the means listed on that last slide. Joan, if you can go to that last slide so that people can connect with us as needed. Okay, I do see a comment asking us to repeat the Gov delivery address. So it is, hold on one second. So the Gov delivery address is https://USTREAS.govdelivery.com/account/subscriber/new. And if you didn't catch that, please, again, you can contact us via our help desk, send us an email, submit a service request, and we can get that information to you. And that's a great way to stay informed on upcoming webinars, just additional announcements that we make. Okay. Just want to check one more time to see if there are any additional questions from the audience. And just a reminder, this webinar is recorded. It will be posted to the web page after this ends, and we will be having additional webinars and conducting additional outreach once the funding round opens. And again, the NOFA has not yet been published. Cedric, are you getting any questions from anybody?
No. No additional questions on the phone.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, again, thank you all for your participation. Again, we will have additional follow-up on the program after the round opens. Again, I know I've said this several times already. After digesting all of the information we shared with you, if there are follow-up questions, please reach out to us via the means on the screen. Thank you again. We appreciate your time. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Thank you. That concludes today's conference. You may all disconnect at this time. Speakers, you may stand by for post-conference.